Okay, so I'm going to be talking about the current patterns of single-use packaging consumption. We will talk about what is single-use packaging and why is it used and what are their impacts on resource extraction and waste generation. We will focus a little bit on plastics because most or big part of packaging is made out of plastics, and the general impact of waste, and also the default solutions. So alternatives that are coming up as a solution to plastic waste, packaging waste, but that are not so good. So single-use packaging is also known as disposable packaging. It is used only once before it is recycled or discarded. This is a question for you, but I'm not sure we're very good on time, so maybe I'll continue, or what do you organizers suggest that we ask the questions? So the idea was that you reply to this question in the chat, and then Marta will give me some feedback. Do you think single-use packaging is proliferating or is being used? I will continue, and if you have more replies, you can put them in the chat. So mostly this type of packaging is used because it facilitates the need for small and convenient packages, maybe to give a strong visual impact, because there's an increasing number of people on the move. So more modern or quick, fast lifestyles imply that we need to grab food on our way to work or on our way home. There's also increasing e-commerce, so more people are buying online, and this is increasing the number of packaging. And there's a very long, etc. Single-use packaging is used for many other things. It's used for food and beverage, personal care and pharmaceutical products, postal services, all sorts of consumer goods. I mean, almost everything that is sold to us, or everything that are sold to us, come in one type of packaging or another. Mostly they are made of plastic, also paper, sometimes glass, metal, wood, and other materials, but these are the main ones, and increasingly from alternative materials, which we will be talking about later. And these materials are used because of different characteristics, depending on the product or on the solution, because they are lightweight, durable, flexible, strong, etc. So single-use packaging is very broadly used. This is the market for single-use packaging. As you see, the fastest growing market is Asia Pacific in green, and the largest market is North America. And us, south of Europe, north of Africa, you'll see we're in the mid-low market growth rhythm. The proliferation of single-use packaging contributes to, amongst others, resource consumption. So you know from previous webinars, I think that we are using our use of materials is huge, not only for packaging, of course, but it's, I'm sorry, I can hear the French translation. So while the population has doubled, our use of materials has quadrupled. So we're booming in our use of resources. We're ending in 2060, we will probably end with our even non-renewable resources on the earth, and even 48 of our elements in the periodic table are in danger. So we are finishing with our reserves and resources. Another, as you know, we are exploiting our resources at a faster rate that they can be regenerated. We are using the earth as if we had almost 2 Earths or 1.5 Earths. And if we continue at this rhythm, by 2050, we will need almost 3 planets. And you know, of course, that is impossible. So we are exceeding our planet's limits to accommodate us. And the orange scenario is if we change from today, our resource and consumption pattern. Then maybe we can reach 2050 with one single Earth. Another effect of the proliferation of single-use packaging is the waste it generates. So this excess of natural resource use is closely related to a massive generation of waste. And this generation of waste is very closely linked to our consumption and production patterns. This is a waste generation around the world. So us here in North Africa and South of Europe, we are between 0.5 and 1.5 kilograms of domestic waste per person per day. Going back to packaging waste, single-use plastic food packaging is a major contributor to the global solid waste problem. Packaging from takeaway food and drinks are consistently the most polluting items found on beaches and rivers around the world. At EU level, just a few examples of numbers so that we can have an idea of how much we are using. So 1.13 trillion items of packaging, mostly plastic and mostly for food and drinks, were used in the EU in 2018. And globally, across the world, we drink around 1.6 billion cups of takeaway coffee every day. From the pre-survey that you had, some of you also drink coffee in single-use cups a few times a week or month. So this is one of all of this adds up, of course, to this 1.6 billion. And also globally, we buy 1 million plastic bottles every minute. These are the results of an Ipsos survey in 28 countries around Europe. So most people, 80% of the citizens that were surveyed, the manufacturers should be obliged to reduce packaging waste. Also from your pre-webinar survey, most of you said that the governments were responsible to reduce this packaging in food, and also the industry and consumers. We will talk about shared responsibility further on, but these are the results. Also, most people, 75%, would want to buy products with as little packaging as possible. And most or some would even change where they purchase their product if that meant they would use less packaging. So this comes to say that citizens, we already are aware that single-use packaging, we want to avoid it, we don't want it, but everything needs to be facilitated for us. It's not only up to us citizens, but industry and governments have other responsibilities. We'll talk about this further on. Okay, so now we'll put focus on plastic. Plastic, as you know and you shared in your survey, is one of the big problems of packaging. But plastic appeared around the end of the 40s, mid-50s, and it was shown as the solution to many of our problems, single-use plastic especially, throwaway living, they called it. So around the world, we have produced 9.2 billion tons of plastic since the 1950s. And the production, as you can see, is growing exponentially. Over half of the plastic that has ever been produced has been in the last 20 years. And all less than 10% has been recycled. And here we come back to packaging. 40% of the world's plastic has been used to produce packaging, which is the purple bottle at the end of this image. So these are single-use products that will become waste in less than 1 month. After this, there's construction materials and textiles. We also have invisible plastics. So there's all types of plastic. For example, 100% of the cigarette butts are made out of plastic. 90% of menstrual products are made of plastic. We have wet wipes, we have baby nappies. Also, 22% of baby nappies are made of plastic. We have a mask that we are using now everywhere and every day. And we have microplastics too. And it's raining plastic. It's raining plastic literally. The substances from plastic are in the rainwater. We can find substances that come from plastic in the top of mountain ranges. We can find them in the deepest ocean floor ever explored. So we are surrounded by plastic.